Hi, Matt with etrailer, and today we're talking about Titan chains with twist links on our 2023 Jeep Gladiator. Now we're going to have this on our rear tire as what the manual recommends, and our tire size is going to be 255 70 R18. So let's check it out. These are going to be a great option for you if you're looking for something that's going to give you a little bit more bite through more heavier snow and ice conditions. And the reason that is because we're going to have this twist link design to our chains. They're also going to be made out of a nickel alloy. That nickel alloy is going to make them very durable and weather resistant so they don't rust over time. Now, since they can give you that extra bite through ice and snow, they're going to have a little bit of size to them too. So if we look back here near the suspension, especially at this point right here, you notice we are kind of close, but as long as you're driving and keeping a close eye on these, then I wouldn't worry about making contact with that. Now, Jeep does recommend using either snow socks or Class S, but as you can see, we still had plenty of room to spare there. We're also going to have this ladder pattern, and that ladder pattern is going to help give you more traction when driving down the road. And here in the center, if you go all the way down to the bottom, to where this lever is, what that lever is doing is attaching to this extra link, securing everything down into place. Our chains are going to come in this pretty light duty bag, 2 to a set, and this is something that might last you maybe a little bit, maybe 3 or 4 trips. With over time, with how heavy duty these chains are, they're eventually going to start ripping through this bag. So what I recommend doing is just investing in a small tote to keep your chains nice and secured. Overall, this is going to be a pretty solid choice for you if you're just looking for some simple chains that get you through most snow and ice conditions. Now, if you want something with a little bit more bite on them, we do have these with also some V-bars on them, and that V-bar is going to have that extra bite for thicker ice. And if you want something that's going to be a little bit more tight or a little bit easier to tighten, then you can get these with cams as well. As for the installation, it's not too bad. There's just a few points to connect. But if you're curious how we did that, just stay tuned and we'll walk you through it. To start off the installation, I just recommend grabbing some gloves to make this a lot easier. And if you are doing this for the first time, I recommend doing it at home so you don't have to figure out how to do it in the middle of the blizzard on the side of the road for the first time. But the first thing we're going to look for is if there's any damages to our links, making sure nothing's broken or a link's loose. If that looks good, then we want to make sure it's in the right orientation. So we want to make sure that these hooks are facing up so they're away from our tire. Once we've made sure of that, I'm just going to make sure I do have this hook facing out furthest away from our tire, so it's a lot easier to access. And if I do, then all I got to do is grab these chains from the center, drape them over the tire, and from this point I just like to make sure everything's even. Kind of in the center of this tire, I don't want it too low where it's going to make contact on that rim. And the same thing for over here, just kind of setting up everything so it's a lot easier to grab on the backside. Once we're ready to make our first connection, we're going to come on the back of the tire, and we're going to grab this metal hook and run it through one of these loose links. And this might take a few tries because you don't want it to be too tight back here because you won't be able to loosen or tighten the front side. And if it's too loose back here, it won't be even. We're going to come around to the front now and make our final connection. And we're just going to take that hook and run it through one of these links. What we're aiming for is to get something pretty tight. So this one right here is going to be a little bit too tight. So I'm going to move over to the one next to it, pull it down, and make that connection with this hanging link right here. Once that's connected, I'm just going to go back through, pull on this to make sure it's pretty tight. And then I'll just repeat that process on the other side. And once it's on there pretty good on both sides, I recommend grabbing a tensioner. You can find one of those on our website. And what this is going to do is just keep a good amount of tension when you're driving. Just make sure nothing loosens up too much. And the way you want to put this on, or what I recommend doing, It's just kind of going for a star pattern. Now, a tensioner isn't required. We took ours off. The reason why it's just recommended is so when you're driving down the road, your chains don't loosen up too much. It's just a little bit more peace of mind. And I just kind of give it a good tug test, make sure it feels pretty tight. And if it does, you repeat that process on the other side. And then I recommend just pulling forward or backing up some to make sure you got a good fit. And if you do, you can go take it out on the road. But that's just a look at some of the features and the installation of the Titan chains with twist links on our 2023 Jeep Gladiator. Thanks for watching.